Welcome everyone. Hope you all are doing great. It's time for me to share an update on the tomato vine which I've pruned a few weeks ago. I'd also walk through various ways to plant tomatoes and my preferred method for doing so. We have a lot of details to cover today. If you enjoy this type of content, please help me out by liking the video and also do consider subscribing to the channel for great gardening tips. Let's get started. One of the main tomato vine in this container has grown tall. So did all the other smaller saplings around the main vine, which we believe would benefit from the air circulation and sunlight improvement. Let's take a look at this main vine and how tall this has grown. It's grown all the way up there. And observe especially these, which were really tiny back in the day, have grown well and developed strong branches now. This is one container, and that is the other container you have seen in the previous video. With this main vine which has grown stronger, along with all these other ones which are thriving too. I would like to show you all at what height I generally like to stop pruning and picking the suckers on the vine and allow them to grow bushy. That is the main vine. Once it grows to about 3 foot tall, at that point I would stop picking the suckers and allow it to grow bushy. This is one side branch, and you can see a sucker and another side branch with another sucker. And the main stem of the vine is growing and would start producing flowers on all the suckers and the main stem soon. That is another plant in the container which has grown about 2 foot tall. Around this point, it started to stem off. As you all can see here, I've picked this side branch but allowed the sucker to stem off and grow. Let me show you how it turned out. It kind of stemmed into this V or Y shape, and both the sucker and the original main stem continued to grow. Main stem started flowering, and for this particular plant, I have not picked the flowers as I want one cluster of fruit at this height. Here is the growth of the sucker with its side branches, and this sucker became the main stem for this half of the plant. This was the original main stem of the vine. It continues to grow with healthy flowering, with more branches, suckers, and flowers. That's the update I have today on tomato vines. Let me take you back to March this year. So, spring was here and brought with it the growing season. Like me, if you would also love to grow the world's favorite fruit, tomatoes, in your own backyard, you can do so by planting and growing tomato vines. How would I do that? You may ask. Several ways, of course. Let's learn them today. The easiest way would be to take a trip to your local store and buy some seed early in the season, or if it's more convenient, order them on Amazon. Once you got the seed, sow them and nurse them well to grow them into healthy fruit producing vine. The easiest way is out. Now comes my way. I typically use a few fruit from last year's produce, cut them into thin slices, and sun dry them for about 3 to 4 days in full sun. At the end, here is how they turn out. And you can preserve these seeds to plant in next season. A bit of work, obviously, but trust me, it's totally worth it. And I highly encourage everyone to do it. Store bought seeds do not always germinate into seedlings. Even if they do not grow into saplings and eventually into vines. On the contrary, the seeds you collect and preserve increases the chances of your success. It does multifold. Why, you may ask? There is one simple answer. These seeds are already acclimatized to your conditions and know exactly what it takes to thrive in your own yard. Okay, I've sun-dried last year produce and collected some seeds. Now what? Let's see how do we plant these seeds. Use a small planter and fill it up with loose soil till about half level. Loose soil is the key. It makes it easier for the saplings to grow good roots. Now, set one of those sun-dried tomato slices and top it off with soil, say for about half an inch, not too deep. See how that slice is not too deep. Water the planter once you're done, and be generous with the water, especially the first few days. Loose soil will help drain any excess water, so do not worry about it. Water regularly and keep the planter in a shaded region of your garden. In about a week or so, you should start seeing seedlings like this. Allow the seedlings to become 2 to 3-inch saplings before transplanting them to larger pots and growing them to full sized vines. So far, we discussed a few options to plant the first few tomato vines for the season. What are you waiting for? Go ahead, pick your favorite method and plant a few. Once these vines grow about 2 foot tall, here is a tip that I recommend to plant all the remaining tomato vines in your garden. The suckers I've picked can be planted and grown into full sized tomato vines. In my opinion, this is the best and fastest way to grow tomato vines. This method also has an advantage. It phases out your fruit harvest timing. While your first batch of tomato plants, which you have grown from seed, are approaching their harvest time, your suckers are continuing to grow. This will help that your garden continues to produce the fruit over an extended period of time and you do not end up with too many fruit in too little time. As you prune your suckers and prepare to plant them, please follow these three useful tips. They will significantly increase your success likelihood. The first, immediately transfer the suckers to a bowl of water after you prune them and let them stay in water as you pick the other suckers on the plant. Even if it takes 5 or 10 minutes to finish your pruning, in that process, soaking the suckers in water makes a lot of difference and helps them survive better. The second, pick a cloudy day to prune your plant, or start it early in the morning or later in the evening so that way it is not too hot while you prune. This allows the suckers crucial time to adjust to the conditions in the new planter after they are transplanted to them.
If possible, gift your plants their good old friends, some earthworms.
Finally, after planting, move the planters to a shady region in your garden to avoid excess sunlight and heat. If you follow these three steps and plant the suckers you pick, they shall grow into full size tomato vine and produce healthy fruit. Obviously, besides following these steps, make sure your planters have good soil, it is loose enough, and it is watered regularly, and you should look forward to great fruit producing vines. Hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please smash that thumbs up button and help me spread this video with more people. Also leave your suggestions in the comments box.